what to make of the numbers that we saw in Q3, Rohit. And I want to first begin with the banking story. And we've seen a sort of contrast between both HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank. And if you look at HDFC Bank, we saw a net profit grow by almost 12%. But in the case of ICICI Bank, we saw the net profit actually come down about 4% or so. So overall, this seems to be something which is very unique to the bank itself and not the sector when you talk about ICICI Bank. And that's something which is visible even in the price action this morning, isn't it?
So it's unfortunate what you actually see when we see price action of ICICI Bank, especially over a period of time. Banking stocks like this one typically are highly correlated to the bank index. But over the last 3 to 5 months, I have seen it break away from what Bank Nifty was doing. In other words, the ICICI Bank stock is actually down over the last quarter or more, while Bank Nifty actually made it to an all-time high in the month of December. So this divergence was concerning to start with, that, why is it diverging? It did reach a very, very important support, which is why we've seen it bounce back over the last, few weeks. But the numbers are really not adding up, and they actually, indicate why we've seen this underperformance. So hope really would be that going forward, now that the market's already corrected, or rather the stock is already corrected, that things improve. We are not still seeing a bearish reversal from the recent bounce back, but it does put you on watch as far as the performance of ICICI is concerned. HDFC Bank, on the other hand, while it did do a little better, has been a little more aligned. But over the last few weeks, it too has, fallen back and stopped performing. So basically, what you're seeing is that smaller private banks, the likes of AU Small Finance or IDFC, is where the money has been, a lot of the short-term money has been chasing. And you've actually seen the big ones from Kotak, HDFC to ICICI lag behind and underperform. And there's no change in that as yet. So not really a good sign for the large banks.
Okay, so not a good sign for the large banks, but even if you look at the large banks, at least in the price action this morning, there is some divergence visible, perhaps awaiting some results. But Axis Bank is up about 2%, and ICICI, like we've seen, is of course in a downward spiral this morning, down about 2.75%. But despite HDFC Bank posting fairly decent, one would say, at least the net income also growing about 6.4% or so. You're saying that even HDFC Bank is in the negative territory in early trade. Why are we seeing that, Rohit?
Yeah, so like I said, it's happening across not just ICICI, HDFC, Kotak. These are the weak spots. Axis has held out this time. A year back, it used to be the opposite, where ICICI was holding out against Axis. So there is a divergence. I can't really pinpoint to the reason, except that markets just don't want, they're just not betting on the big banks that much, and are really betting on the smaller names. That's the clear pattern that we see underlying.